Hello, everyone. We are greeting you from Nairobi, Kenya. We are live on Pastor Obasi-ike's show tonight. I want to give everyone that is already here time to share before we hit the road. So please, if you are already with us, go to your Facebook, you're already on my Facebook page. You click on share and make sure you share to all groups, share to your pages. And as you're sharing, make sure you also click follow and like, follow and like, so that you will be getting all our updates all the time. Follow and like. Already, we are not even right. We are not yet at the time of the show, and we already have 26 people who have already logged in. I think people are too eager to hear what we've got to say tonight. StreamYard is giving me a combination of Facebook and the summation of Facebook and YouTube. So currently we are 34. It's climbing up, and we are yet 5 hours to the time of this meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, please begin to share. Begin to share. Wherever you are, begin to share. 36 already on. I will soon acknowledge you by names. Make sure you're sharing. Wake up, people. Let them know that we are already live. Steve, you are number one. Because you are in media field, I think that's why you decided today you must be number one. So, Steve, you're welcome. Already we are 48. Nyaguti, you are welcome. You are saying good evening to mommy and the guests. Thank you so much. Brenda, you are tuning. Max, Sally, you are tuning. Sabina, you are tuning. Salina, you are tuning. Blessing, you are tuning. Clary, you are tuning. Thank you so much. We are already 55. Gracious Grace, you are tuning. Deaconess Jumoke, welcome back to the series. You are tuning. God bless you. And those of you that are tuning in, you are coming to us from outside Kenya. Please let us know that you are from outside Kenya. All right, Charlene, you're tuning. Sheka, you are tuning. There is somebody here that each time I see your name, I really laugh. And I am thinking you acquired this name one of the days I led prayer at night, and I talked about the north wind and the south wind. And you decided now that the name of your Facebook page should be north wind and south wind. I am guessing that that was the day you acquired this name. So that name is saying I am north wind and south wind. So north wind and south wind, you are welcome. Linda, you are welcome. Victoria, you are welcome. Nina, you are welcome. Nina, you are welcome. Prince Afolabi, you are welcome. Jane Omondi, you are welcome. Malin too, you are welcome. Carolina Ringa, Happiness, Veggie, and Kawa, you are welcome. We are already 72. We have 5 more minutes before it's time. Cecilia, have you been able to share?
I have shared, and I'm waiting for my family to join.
Yeah, let them join us from US, from Norway, from all over the world. Let them know that we Africans, we are doing great. We are doing well. Yeah, North Wind and South Wind has responded. She said, yes, mommy, it is true.
That's good.
I have all kinds of children in this world. God has really blessed me with children. You know, every time I see that North Wind and South Wind, I said, I'm going to ask this lady, you acquired this name, did I led vigil? I led vigil. And I am right. Your name is North Wind and South Wind. Oh my God. Glory be to God. I just love my spiritual children. You guys make me feel very happy. I mean, it tells me how much you take, the seriousness with which you take anything I say. And that's why God will definitely be visiting you. Erastus, you're welcome. Kilonzo, you're welcome. Margaret, you're welcome. Mercy, you are welcome. Isabel, you are welcome. Evelyn, you are welcome. Pastor Chris, you are welcome. How we missed you, you and your wife. You are welcome. The Lord bless you, and we thank God for Johnny Mercies. Mercy, you are welcome. Centurion, you are welcome. Phyllis Ekeya, you are welcome. All right. We have 2 more minutes. Let's keep it coming. We are already 94 present. Perez, you're welcome. Linda Choge, you are welcome. Let's keep it coming. But more importantly, share. More importantly, share. More importantly, thank you, Mercy. You are saying, Mommy, you are looking lovely, and even our guest. Thank you so much. We appreciate your compliment, Mercy. Susan, tune in. Cynthia watching. Caroline Badia watching. God bless you. Esther Odiambo, Cecilie, Washira, Rose, Baruch. All right. I'm waiting for your people. Aha. I think this must be your husband. Your husband has logged in. Good husband. Dr.
Really
David.
good.
He said, good evening and looking forward to this wonderful show. What a wonderful husband. You are welcome. It's good to see men who cheer their wives and women who cheer their husbands. Who else can cheer you better than your spouse? I know that if my husband is anywhere now, he will be there. I wouldn't be surprised as soon, no matter where he is. He will log in because he's not around. But I know he will log in if he's able. If internet allows him where he is. Katwiri, you are welcome. Penina, you are welcome. Jackie, you are welcome. Olanike, you are welcome. Linda, you are welcome. Ivy is saying, looking very beautiful, mommy. And Cecilie, thank you so much for your compliment. God bless you. Albert Muriki, you're welcome. Oganchi Jane, God's grace is indeed exceeding upon you, Pastor Esther. You are so refreshed. Glory be to God. Thank you so much, Jane. You are very correct. It's only grace. It's only the grace of God that has sustained me this weekend. Completely. And I give him praise. Mary, you are welcome. I think we need now to start. We are already 120 something. So we need to hit the road. The rest of them, we jam us on the road. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor, my privilege, and joy and gladness, and my gratitude to God to welcome on this show a young lady who will tell us her story, and especially shaping the younger generation and making sure that the younger generation do more exploits than what ourselves are doing and could ever have done. So on the show today is Cecilie. Okay, let me appreciate my senior sister all the way from California, my immediate elder sister. She said, Noya Achusi said, hi, I'm watching now. Praise God for another opportunity to be blessed of your great show of Keep It Real. For only truth shall set our world free. You both are wonderfully made, very cute and pretty. Yeah, my senior sister said we both look very cute and pretty. Glory be to God. All right. Now on the show, we have a young lady who just got married June last year. So she's still in a honeymoon attitude. They're actually busy cruising up and down and enjoying themselves and busy surprising one another here and there from the chat she has given to me. So tonight is Cecilia Washira, a Norwegian, married to a Kikuyu. And I'm sure some of you watched when I hosted the husband, Dr. David Washira, who works with World Bank, Washington, D.C., and now was able to catch this fish that is from Norway. And she has an interesting profession. She is a renowned photographer. We shall be hearing more about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome this beautiful young lady that is from Norway and landed in Kikuyu, Kenya. So let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're
That was
welcome.
so sweet. I see all the amazing comments coming in, and it feels like a privilege to be on your show. I see so many are saying hello, and the outpour is amazing. Like I said on Jeff Kanonge Live 2 weeks ago, I fell in love with David and I fell in love with Kenya, and that is a true statement. I love it here, and I cannot wait to become Kenya to be more a permanent place for me to live, and I can get in touch with all of you and try to help out with some mentorship, because being a woman in this world, it can be tough, but I hope that I can give you some inspiration tonight. And if you need to talk to me about anything else, I'll give you all of my social media after the show.
All right. All right. So the stage is set. The stage is set. I don't know why I'm getting an echo from my end. I hope this echo will not distract us. The stage is set for us now to begin. Now, don't forget to share. If you have not shared, maybe you got excited and carried away. Please share, just share, just share. Then we begin. All right, back to you, Cecilia. Who is Cecilia Washira? Just like in 2 minutes.
I am a daughter of a Norwegian and American. I have a younger sister, biologically now 2 new ones from marriage. I started being a photographer at a very young age of 17, photographed my first wedding, and then I moved to Washington, D.C., and I worked at a restaurant, and I was privileged to encounter some amazing people that gave me some amazing.
We will get there. We will get there. Just tell us who you are. Don't hold on to that story of restaurant. We will get there later.
Besides being a daughter and a sister and a wife, I'm a photographer. I love to cook and I love to travel. I'm actually making some Kenyan food in the kitchen before we started this, so I can tell you that my husband's eating quite well. And other than being family oriented and traveling and being here in Kenya and a photographer, that's pretty much me.
All right, that's great. That's great. I talked about you in the church. I don't know where this echo is coming from. I just hope it's not getting out. I talked about you in the church today in the Holy Communion. I was telling people how your husband felt the first day he perceived chapati in his house in Washington, that he couldn't believe that you could make chapati. You took him by storm. And when he perceived the aroma, he jumped from the staircase and came down. He didn't know what to do with you because, according to him, he said, my goodness, you made him to remember his mother. I think when he was getting married to you, he felt, oh, I will miss chapati, I will miss githeri, I will miss this, I will miss that. Only for him to perceive the aroma. How you learned how to cook it, he didn't know, but you made his day that day. Can you just tell us, let's begin with, how did you meet this Kikuyu man? How did you people meet?
Well, David works for the World Bank, and at the time he was co-chairing the youth to youth group where young professionals gather together and they try to work together to improve the World Bank and policy. I was leaving an event down the road, and he invited me to the event, and I went. It was short, 15 minutes long is all our encounter was, and needless to say, 15 minutes was all it took for us to fall in love, and here we are.
You met in a youth program.
At the youth program that David was running, he was hosting an event at a restaurant in Washington, D.C., and I was at a different event, but I knew of the event. David had told me about it on social media, and we met face-to-face at that event together. I wasn't photographing it. I was purely going just to meet David.
So when you met him, how did you fall in love with him? How did he fall in love with you? Because there were other people that were in that meeting. There were other people that were there. So how did both of you spot each other?
Well, we had been texting, and he had told me about the event, and so I went, and we chatted for about 15 minutes, and everything that we shared with each other, we thought, was great, what we were looking for in a partner. And after that 15 minutes, David invited me to a going away party, but I unfortunately had previous plans, and David had to leave for Zimbabwe for a 14-day trip because he was getting ready to take on a role there for another year. And I felt like we were back in high school all over again, where, boy meets girl, and you're texting, you're sharing information, and you're just crossing check marks off that you're looking for in a life partner, such as family, God, school, education, life ambitions, and of course, children. So after talking for 14 days, countless hours, he came back to Washington, D.C., and we both were like, we have fallen in love with each other's hearts. It wasn't everything to do with what's on the outside, your looks and all that kind of stuff. And I was asked, does the turban, was it an issue for me? Did I understand it fully? And no, I didn't understand it fully. But as a human, I did what I did to learn more about David. I researched it. What does a Christian wearing a turban mean, and where did he come from? And I was so intrigued, and I think it just made me fall in love with him even more.
Wow. I love what you said. You said it was not about what you people saw on the outside, that there was something that connected on the inside. And you see, you met in a youth program where he was organizing for youth empowerment, and yourself also came, and you people felt connection. There was a connection, there was a connectivity, and you said it very clearly. It has got nothing to do with the physical. There was something that connected on the inside. This is very important, especially when God is bringing two people together for a purpose, so that they can fulfill a purpose, especially in the area of being a blessing to humanity. Today, two of you are running youth program. It is not a struggle for you to fit into that youth program. You are enjoying it because from the onset, there was a connection. There was a connection, and you began from there. Excellent. I want to appreciate some people who have just joined us from across the globe. Veronica Debo, one of the guests I hosted not long ago, all the way from Australia. She's watching from Australia. She's the young lady, the Kenyan lady making waves in Australia with over 400 staff under her in Australia, and currently with her husband building scores of apartments by the beach in Mombasa. I hosted her not long ago, and for her to be awake to watch this all the way from Australia, that shows the interest, that the importance she attaches to this. Veronica, God bless you so much. God bless you. I gave one of our ministers your contact because he is into building, and he was very grateful because he said he actually met your husband. He went to see the apartments. That's how networks begin in life. So thank you for watching us and following us all the way from Australia. I also want to appreciate Jesse Nyanyuki is watching all the way from US Texas. So we are grateful that you can be able to follow us. Please, we also have Elizabeth Washira. That should be a sister to your sister-in-law, right?
I have my sister-in-law, Elizabeth, and I have Kapili, Priscilla, my other sister-in-law, and my sister Natalie actually joined in for a while there up earlier.
Oh my God! Family. Elizabeth Washira, you are joining us from Dallas, and she's sharing her sister-in-law, the wife to her brother, saying, "Great to see you, Cecilia." Nothing gives. There is this joy in a family when even the people that are married into the family becomes part of the family. That's what a family, the plan of God for marriage is that when we bring in people into our homes, the home becomes larger. We become larger and we cheer each other, we hail each other. For your sister-in-law to be watching us, I remember you mentioned to us the day we hosted you and your husband in our house. You said before your husband, you couldn't have asked for a better family on earth than the family of the Washiras. In fact, you were saying you are too grateful to God for locating you into such a family where you talk with your mother-in-law virtually every day. In fact, you said you and your mother-in-law is a team. Is whatever you people agree before even David knows, you've already agreed. And
yes.
And I can see it. For them to be hailing you and they could tune in to watch, It shows the kind of family that you have entered into, which is a very good family. But because you also respect them, you love them. Because I remember the story you told us, how you could call David's auntie in Kenya to ask her for a recipe to cook what David will enjoy. Can you imagine a wife like this? She will go to YouTube to learn the Kenyan dishes so that the husband can be happy. Then the one she does not understand, she will call from US and call an auntie here to teach her how to do it. Who will not love a daughter-in-law like you? Who will not love a sister-in-law like you? I think you need to say something about that. As your in-laws are cheering you, just say something about your relationship with your in-laws. I think it's going to help somebody.
My relationship with my in-laws have been really good from the start. And I think that is due to the fact that David and I were really open about wanting each other to be involved in the family. Like when we started dating, we dated maybe 6 months before we started bringing our families on board, because I believe that dating someone is not just for that one person, it's for the family. I want to get to know David's sisters. I want to get to know his mother and his father, because at some time I'm going to want to come to them for advice, marital advice, or my father-in-law is a pastor, so I need pastoral advice. David has a great relationship with my family and my younger sister. I have a sister, so David's the only boy. And my dad loves that. Whenever we go and visit them, it's like home. We don't carry our suitcases anymore because we have clothes. We have our own room. And, you know, I joke about this, but whenever I go to Texas, let me just tell you, I'm not home for all that, but 5 minutes before my younger sister-in-law, Priscilla, grabs me and we're out. She's like, let's go take photos. Let's go to the farm. Let's go do something. So it's just such a warm feeling knowing that whenever I'm going to Texas to see my other side of my family, it's not David's family anymore, it's the other side of my family, I get to go spend quality time with my sister. And I hope that I can say the same thing for David whenever we jump on a flight and go see my parents in Florida, that David goes and works with my dad and we can do our own thing and feel completely fine, because family's family and that's everything.
You know, what you are telling us today is that marriage is bigger than color, is bigger than culture, is bigger than, location. Even though we normally want to see our children marry from our cultures, but I can tell you that the generation where we live today is not about culture. It's about that thing that happened the first day you people met, an inner witness. There was something that entered into your heart and felt that we are meant for each other. And now when you came together, you needed to build together, not independently. There are couples that are champions on their own. Some of them are competing every day. Husband and wife from day one is competing. That's nonsense and nonsensical. The short life we have here to live, we must live it well. We must live it facing each other. And there is nothing that gives joy than to enter into a home and the parents and the relatives of the husband and the wife side become a larger tree. And that is the plan of God, a larger tree. But unfortunately, some marriages have been terribly abused and terribly marginalized, that you now come into that marriage, the families are shrinking instead of enlarging. They are shrinking instead of enlarging. I am so thrilled. When you guys came to our house, I heard your stories, saw the way you were behaving like younger brother and younger sister. It was not even marriage. The way you guys, you wanted to surprise him. He said you guys were traveling the next day. He didn't know where he was going to. He didn't know where he was going to. Your husband has commented. Let me read what he said. He said, indeed, well said, Cecilia, a marriage is more than two people. It is part of a larger tree. A marriage is part of a larger tree. So when people come and they want to say, it is me and my wife, it is me and my husband, nobody should interfere. Everybody get out. At the end of the day, you end up shrinking that larger tree. And I can tell you, when you are just both of you and you exclude every other fellow, then it is just a matter of time. You will be tired of each other. You'll be tired of each other because that's not the plan of God. Then secondly, again, it is the responsibility of each parties to make the other party welcome in their family. So
Yes.
it is the duty of David to make sure that his family sees you not as a wife, but as a sister, as somebody that has become part of their blood, because now you are part of their blood. The same way, it is your duty to ensure that your own parents, though American Norwegians, that they accept this black man and let him be part of the family. And let me tell you, once a wife sees the husband loving the family, and the husband sees the wife respecting the family, the way you say you respect the mother a lot, that marriage will have minimal stress. Minimal stress, because no matter what goes on between both of you, you will remember that this relationship is beyond both of you. And so you wouldn't want to hurt the mother, you wouldn't want to hurt the sisters also, so you will quickly make up. But when the marriage is just between both of you, excluding others, divorce is possible, because nobody really cares, nobody really bothers. Even if you people part, how does that affect them? So I think we are learning tonight that it's not just, I want to marry from my village, I want to marry from this, even though those things are good, but ultimately, will you find peace? Will you find a friend? Will you find a companion? All right. I want to believe that you guys are learning, you are learning, you are learning, and please keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. I don't know whether it is your sister-in-law, Elizabeth, that David said he wants me to host, because that she does women empowerment. Is she the one?
Yes. Yes, she is the one.
All right. So Elizabeth, Dr. Elizabeth, get ready for me. I was told you have a lot of women empowerment. I am a champion in that domain. So we are going to see how we can wrap together and do a show together. All right. Let me hear a little from you about what do you love most about David?
David has a really big heart, and there isn't a time that we are out somewhere where we're not trying to make the other people around us happy. After being on JKL, people recognize us in the airport, and even with COVID, we are still taking selfies, and I can't tell you how many business cards or personal phone numbers we've handed out. So David's just so generous with his heart and with his time. And I knew that very early on. And so I said yes to marrying him and helping him provide for the people around us.
Great thing. Ability to see a husband that is generous, and you now say, I love his generosity. Let's team up and make it larger and be a family that works with people. Glory. Now, let's go to your profession. Is it not amazing that you are a photographer? Why?
It is very amazing.
Why a photographer?
Why a photographer? Well, in the United States, Maryland, particularly where I was going to school, in order to graduate high school, you had to take a fine arts class. And my father, my grandfather on my mother's side, was a photographer for National Geographic. So since family was so important to me, I thought, why not try something that my grandfather really enjoyed, even though he had passed away. But I believe that happiness can, be sent through generations. So after taking one class, one semester, I fell in love with photography, and I hit the ground running, and I never looked back. And it's the best decision I ever made, besides marrying David, of course.
What are the challenges? We know photographers as men, not women. So is it easy landing and selling, or you are discovering that this domain is mainly for male and they are actually dominating?
Where I come from back in the States, especially Washington, D.C., the wedding photography business is primarily women, believe it or not. And women they're very competitive, I think a little bit more than men, because, they also want to be breadwinners. And weddings are romantic. So I feel like the women in the industry are taking a large part of the competition. And it's hard sometimes because I am competing with other women. I'm not competing with just a male. I'm competing with a peer, a woman. And you have to set yourself apart. You know, everyone can take a pretty picture and make your Instagram look really nice, but you have to also just not sell your product. You have to sell yourself. And how you sell yourself is very, very important.
Absolutely. How you sell yourself. I want to believe that all professionals are watching us and you are listening. I spoke in our faith clinic a couple of weeks ago on how you show up is important. How you show up in your career is important. So you cannot mess up with your career. You are a photographer. You can't mess up with photographs and expect to have a space in that. You can't. So the same thing with other careers. That how you show up is very important. How you market yourself. And marketing is not just by mouth, but the product, the quality of the product. So tell us a bit, what should somebody be looking out in photography? Like myself, I don't know how to snap, but I know a good photo. And if you do the wrong one, I tell you this one is 100% bad. And if I want to post a photo, you give me choices. I know the best photo to post, but I don't know how to arrive there. So what do you normally look out for in photography, especially in this digital world where everybody is selling themselves in the market, which is very good? What are you looking out for?
Well, the market, like you said, is big and it's very saturated. And when it comes to taking a photo, you want to look at where people are cropping. Like if I have someone take a photo of me, I'm going to get really upset if there's like so much space above my head, but you crop my feet off. I'm a person. I want my feet to be taken. What if I'm wearing a pretty cute pair of shoes? I want them photographed. I'm sure every other woman here wants them shown too. You spend a lot of time in front of that mirror looking good, so you want a good photo of it. You also want to look at if the photos are in focus. What point is a photograph if it's not in focus? You want to make sure that you have the clarity, the focus, and that everything is cropped in that frame. You don't want, Uncle Sam or Aunt Sue to be cut off of the picture, especially on your wedding day or in a family portrait, because those pictures are meant to create memories.
I am so excited. I'm not a photographer, but I can teach photography. I can teach it. I'm telling you the truth. What you have described is what I tell our people. When you are taking me photo, I tell them I don't like you to post portraits unless it's official photography where maybe I am going to do seminar, I am going to facilitate conference, then you can take a portrait. I say, when you are selling me to the world, my elegancy is the first thing they want to see before the sermon. And so the clarity will be there, the posture will be there, and the women want to see my clothes and my shoes. What I am wearing, the shoes and the hairdo. And so don't give me a shady photo that they are looking for my face. They can't see my face. It's very annoying. Like the way you said now that you get so upset. And I can testify when we gave you our flyer, what we did not notice, you noticed. I didn't even notice it because I was so busy. But you asked, what has happened to your face? Because, and that's when we looked and saw, oh my God, they made a mistake with your face with some things that are not natural on your face. And so we had to apologize. They had to brush it off. And that tells you, you are a professional. Your face should not be messed up with. Because because that's the first thing somebody sees. And the first thing is, wow, I want to know who this fellow is. So a photographer should not just use a camera and be doing pa. Some of them, like you said, we cut off your leg, but there's a lot of space up. Then you're wondering, what is that space for? So I think that, like you rightly said, we need to wake up in our careers and sell ourselves to the world. All right. As we move on, I want to announce to you tomorrow is our evening sacrifice. Remember, we are still in the season of making a demand and decree. So tomorrow 8 p.m. join me on this particular page as we keep making demands and keep on decreeing and asking God to shine his face upon us. 8 p.m. tomorrow, don't miss it. We are making decrees, we are making demands from the Almighty God. He's the one that said we should make the demand. Now, I want to please let you know that you note in your diary 25 years anniversary of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Kenya. Like I announced earlier today in church, it was supposed to have taken place October last year, if not for COVID. But our daddy said there is no way 25 years work we go like 25 days. No, 25 years. Look at the 35 years of Holy Ghost service in Nigeria, how it was celebrated all over the world. That's how to thank God. That's how to broadcast what God is doing. So 25 years of the work in Kenya must be celebrated, COVID or no COVID. We will observe all protocol. All of you go to market, you still go to work. So please join us. It will be from 25th to 28th, from 25th to 28th of this month. And speakers will be myself, Daddy, Pastor Peter Amekene, and Reverend Moses Ariansola. The meeting on Thursday will be 5:30 p.m. On Thursday, 25th, 5:30 p.m. Friday, we have two meetings. The first one, 5:30 p.m. And then there will be online meeting at night, Kesha by 10. And so please, the 5:30 p.m. meeting on Thursday is physical. The 5:30 meeting on Friday is physical, but 10 o'clock on Friday will be virtual. On Saturday will be 4 p.m. And on Sunday, we will have one joint service, 10 to 12:30. Please give us that honor. Give us that honor. And then next Sunday, I will be hosting two giants, Kingdom Giants. Kingdom Giants. This is the week. Tomorrow will be the International Women's Day. I will ask you some things about it, Cecilia, later. We are doing a show for you tonight, a photographer, a female photographer. And tomorrow, the world will be celebrating women. On Sunday, I'll be having on my show one of our regional pastors' wives in UK, Pastor Biodu Shegu. She has a powerful women outfit called Beautiful Countenance. Beautiful Countenance. She believes in packaging. I have preached in their meeting. I spoke in their conference 2 years ago in UK. We will be hosting her together with another woman champion, a lawyer by profession, but now an assistant continental overseer of RCCG USA. How does a woman get to this kind of class? Assistant Continental Overseer of RCCG, United States, Pastor Fumi Obilano. I have ministered severally in her meeting. She runs a powerful women ministry called Total Women. Total Women. So we want to hear from these women what drives them to run Total Women and run Beautiful Countenance. Let them speak to us, both male and female, and they are pastors, and we need to know how women are also surviving in the pastoral terrain and what they are doing. Don't miss next Sunday for any reason. Back to you, Cecilia. Please don't forget, if you have not shared, please share, please share, please share. Let's get back to you. How many, in our conversation, you mentioned that you have photographed some important personalities. Can we know who they are first before we go to how you met them?
Yes, I photographed President Obama, which I'm sure was probably the highlight of my career, his wife, Michelle Obama, and LeBron James, and some European soccer players, Abby Wambach, to name one, who's one of my favorites. The girls will really like this one, Bradley Cooper. He was really, he was like a regular human. He just came up and he asked if I could take his photo with another person. And I said, sure. And later he gave me his business card and I was able to keep in contact with him and share that photo.
You also photographed President Biden when he was vice president or so.
Yes, I have photographed the Biden family personally, privately also, and I photographed Trump. I was there from inauguration, and the first inauguration that I've missed was President Biden's inauguration because I was here in Kenya. But we did watch it live from the TV, and it felt like I was there, so it was good.
You were in President Trump's inauguration.
Yes.
All right. How did you meet these men and their wives? How did you meet them?
So while I was still pursuing my photography career, you don't take pictures every day, and there isn't a wedding every weekend, unfortunately. So I decided to take up a second part-time job. There was a really famous restaurant in Washington, D.C. called Cafe Milano. It's Italian, very good food. I highly recommend going there if you're ever in Washington, D.C. I was a host, and I'm the first person that you see when you walk in the door. And this restaurant is known for its politicians, the presidents, and whenever they have the inauguration, they have dinners there. So all the famous people go there. Like any given night that you're there, someone famous is there. So a couple of nights a week I would work, and they would come in. They'd ask me how I was doing politely. I said, I'm doing great. Thank you. I'll be right with you to get you seated. And I think that just being polite and showing who I was, like an honest person, led me to gaining their business. And I, believe it or not, I gained the male's business. And if the male trusted me enough, I got the woman, Michelle Obama's business, because I presented myself in a way where not only because I respected myself, that exerted. You could see that in the way that I communicated with people. And that's important. If you really want to gain business, if you're in the entrepreneurial field, or if you're going on a job interview, you have to trust yourself and show respect.
You know, when she shared this thing with Daddy and I couldn't believe it. You know, I just said, this is what we teach every day. And I am so grateful that what we teach are the things that people are riding on in their own world, and they are entering into the market, the global market. Number one, she said she needed to get another job to support what she was doing, because she's a photographer, but that did not stop her from going to restaurant to work. And that restaurant, she was not even the one serving food. She's the one selling tickets. She's the one, when you come in, if you have ever been to restaurant, there are restaurants where you enter, you are given tickets, and with that ticket, you are able to locate a seat. So her job was to be number one, to give them tickets, and when they are going to say bye, that was her job. To say how I hope everything was fine, that was it. Now, I don't want you to miss this, because we are going somewhere. She said, number one, they noticed she was polite. You know, I've always said it, there is nothing that aggressiveness and harshness can ever get you in life. It can only push people away from you. We must, especially when we are working in a public place where we meet people that we don't know who they are, you must have to cultivate a character of politeness. Even when people are stepping on you, you must find a way to acquire politeness. Because imagine if she was somebody that had no politeness and the president arrived. They wouldn't have noticed her. Yeah, they wouldn't have noticed her.
Or playing on my phone. Like, you have to be ready. You can't. Yeah, you don't. If you are the first person that the people are going to interact with, how you present yourself, being genuine and respectful, you can't just be on your cell phone off to the corner and look up and just say, I'll be right with you, and then finish what you're doing, because this is your personal life. You were there to work. And this had happened to me. Biden's son, Hunter, came into the restaurant one night, and it was late. We were getting ready to close. I'd been on my feet for 5 hours, but at the end of and to be honest, I didn't even know it was Hunter Biden. I mean, this is the vice president's son coming in and asking for a table. And I'm telling him, I'm sorry, sir, but we're getting ready to close tonight. We're no longer taking seats. And I'm telling this to the vice president's son. I'm telling him no. But I did it in a way where it was respectful, and he took note of that. And after I found out who he was, the manager came up, he apologized profusely, and he served him. And at the end of the night, when Hunter Biden was leaving, he thanked me. He asked me, so what do you do besides host here at Cafe Milano? And I told him I'm a professional photographer based in Washington, D.C., and I specialize in weddings and family portraits. And needless to say, I got his personal phone number. And within 24 hours, I sent him a text. And that text was very professional, saying, "Hi, this is Cecilia from Cafe Milano. It was really nice meeting you. Once again, I'm so sorry about the mix-up for not recognizing who you were and giving you a seat right away." And he laughed it off. And out of that, I got business. So it's very important to just present yourself in a way where you're respected.
You know, Cecilia, when you were telling him no politely, we are closed, you didn't know he was vice president's son.
No, I didn't.
So you treated him like you could have treated anyone else politely.
And I believe that that's key in today's society, is that you whatever color skin you are, whatever stature you hold in life, whether you're a senator or an MP, I believe that treating people with the utmost respect, it will get you a long way in life. Don't judge a book by its cover, and you'll get very far.
Absolutely. You will go so far in life. The character of politeness, and you never knew that was the vice president's son. For you, every customer was important. Every customer was important. And imagine if you were abusive, only to eventually realize that this is Biden's son. You would have been so embarrassed. And I'm sure if he reports you to the organization, they will check you out because you are not presenting the organization very well. But you'll be able to win his love and business because of politeness. You also mentioned that we need to be honest, to be authentic. And you mentioned we need to be respectful. We need to respect people. I think that is another area where some people are struggling. This issue of respect sometimes is not genuinely delivered. It's packaged in a respect. If you really have respect for somebody, you will respect the way Apostle Paul said, respect in present and in absence. Meaning, I am not respecting you to gain favor from you. I respect you for who you are. Then at the end of the day, you gain favor. So this is very important. I want to read a few comments. Before we go to the next thing. I saw some few comments that are very important. Somebody is saying, Elizabeth Washira, your sister-in-law is saying, authenticity is key. Authenticity is key. Be yourself. Even looking for new business requires a process. Cannot simply ask. You simply cannot just ask. Say hello. Say hello. Showcase who you are so they know you, and from there you network. Networking etiquette is key. In the time we are living in now, etiquette is important for networking. Powerful networking. Politeness, respect, carry yourself with dignity. And when you respect yourself, you will learn how to respect other people.
Yes.
Somebody else is saying, Beatrice is saying, cultivate a character of politeness. Correct. Prophetic Robin Hebziba is saying, great woman of influence. Thanks for obeying the Holy Spirit. In fact, you have been so obedient to him this year. Thank you so much. You are very true. I've been so obedient to him, and I'm pleading to be more obedient to him. I want to see more of him this year. Thank you so much, Hebziba. Jane is saying, well said. Respect is key. Somebody else is saying, where am I? Yeah, Respect is key. Somebody is saying, Mom, you have too much echo. Just forgive me. I hear that echo, but I think we are doing well because we have just few more minutes. So I don't want to touch anything here. So just tolerate it. I know that I have echo and I'm suspecting I opened 2 StreamYard because I sent out 2 links. One didn't work, one worked. I forgot to shut down the other. So just bear with me. I provided you're hearing me. We are almost done. Regina is saying, sure, Cecilia, politeness is key. I do customer care, and I can tell you without politeness, you can't make it. Politeness is freedom. Christine is saying, never judge a book by its cover. Don't look at somebody and judge. You may be shocked. And that reminds me a story that your husband told us, how he organized a program, a seminar somewhere. And while he was there waiting for people, I think some politicians came in also, and they mistook him for the tea boy. You remember the story?
I do. Yeah, he made tea and coffee for the whole team. And then when he was done, he took a seat, humble as ever. And I think a couple of people in that room were a little embarrassed, needless to say, how they treated him.
Let me tell you, that story is powerful. That story is simply powerful. Somebody who's supposed to be the guest, the chief guest, walks into a place, and some people came in and mistook him for T-boy. And they told him, make tea. And he didn't complain. He didn't fight. He didn't feel insulted. He was busy. This one, we say, drop tea. He will go and get the coffee. He will drop. Only for them later to realize that this is the one to speak to us. And they were so embarrassed. But you see the way God exalted him. So there are times we should humble ourselves so that in due season, when people realize who we are, actually they can be shocked who we are. There are times to introduce ourselves when the times come, but there are times we may actually keep quiet and let our actions introduce us. All right. Somebody else is saying, do you mentor people? Do you have a mentorship program? Just a minute. I've touched. There is something I've touched. I need to remove it. All right. Somebody is asking, do you do mentorship?
I do offer mentorships. When I am here in Kenya, I will take on anyone who wants to learn. I'm actually mentoring a young man right now. His name is Isaac. He has some photography background. He's an amazing, amazing, amazing videographer. If you ever go on my Instagram or my Facebook page and sees videos, they're done by him. I just had a shoot at the Arboretum the other day. He came with me and I'm teaching him how to use the camera, all the different functions. So you're not just shooting in fully automatic, you are actually learning how to use the camera inside and out. And he has the privilege of using my equipment that I bring, all my lenses, all my different cameras, and I leave them with him. And then we meet, on a weekly basis, and we talk about, what he has learned. He'll show me some photos and I'll go over them and critique them. So I do offer them.
So when you are in America,
while I'm in America, I have my Instagram and I openly give out my WhatsApp phone number. And if they have any questions about what camera to buy or any editing software, I'm just a text message or a WhatsApp phone call away. I also have people sending me their portfolios and asking me for critiques, what they can do to improve. And then if I ever get a client that I get asked for photos while I'm not in Kenya, I always ask the client, hey, I'm working with a student. Would you be open to having them come and photograph you while I'm not there? And then when I come in July, I'll come and do it. So I offer opportunities. They are internships. They're not necessarily paid, but they give you the opportunity to grow and learn. And I think that is what's most important here, given the situation.
All right. Would you mind to give out your social media name, your account name, so that maybe those who want to get in touch with you can get in touch with you? Can you tell us how can they find you on social media?
Yes, absolutely. My Instagram is CC Olausen. That's my maiden name, and it's OLAUSSEN. And I'll write it in the comments. That way, you guys who are just coming in or left earlier, you guys can have it and go back into the comment section. And I'm also on Facebook as Cecilia Washira, and it has a link in there to my photography page.
All right. I'm sure who are managing our media, they may type it on my page, and those who want to get in touch with you can get in touch with you. Dr. Washira can also help you to type it on my page there as a comment, and write it there in case somebody missed it. Then they can get it later. All right. Now, tomorrow is Women's International Day. We are celebrating women. And if you wouldn't mind to tell us, how old are you?
I will be 33 in June.
You'll be 33 in June. What do you have in your heart burning? What do you think you have seen as a gap generally with this younger generation? And what do you think can be done?
Well, I can understand that with our generation right now, we are in the middle of a pandemic. So I don't believe that we can be too rough on them because they've missed a whole year of either education or real life experiences because of COVID. You had to either be inside, you can't go to family gatherings, you can't go to weddings, you can't go to school or do any of that stuff. So, but needless to say, there are other avenues that you can learn from. Don't just sit at home and think that like, oh, once COVID is over, I'm going to go right back to being a photographer. No. Or, if you skip your studies and think that you can just pick up a book and start your education a year or 4 months down the road, no, it's very hard. You have to stay constant with your studies. You have to stay constant with your art, your craft, whether that's being a photographer or making the lovely earrings that I'm wearing. I would sit there and say, just practice. If you're, these, you can sell them online. There are tons of places you can. My husband and I are trying to come up with a way where we can get things that are made in Kenya and shipped to the United States, like an e-commerce platform. For myself, I knew when I wasn't photographing weddings, that affected my income. So I had to find another way to support myself, and that was doing virtual photo shoots. It sounds crazy. It didn't go over really well, but I had the idea, I executed it, and that's all that matters. And I went online and I found some YouTube videos on how to sharpen my photography skills. That way, when the time came to pick up the camera, I was ready to go photograph my weddings and my families, and life continues.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have Queen Esther's Next Generation Mentorship program that we run every year to train girls to raise the next female African leaders that will really make a huge difference. I hope you wouldn't mind being one of my faculty, permanent faculty.
I would love to join the team.
All right, that's excellent. We are considering having one end of April, just before the QEG of May, because normally we go for a camping, but I don't want to expose these children to any infection. So this time we want to have 2 days mentorship in church for them. They will come in the morning from 10 to 1 o'clock, 10 to 1 o'clock for 2 days, just to keep them, to make sure that they have not forgotten where they are going. And the Lord blessed me tremendously and gave me a group of powerful women who developed an incredible curriculum. Oh my God. I looked at this curriculum for year 1. They are on the year 2 now. I just couldn't believe what the heads of these women are having. They are all professionals, highly professionals. So we are going to be using that a part of it, because it's so huge and we can't cover it in 2 days. But we are going to use part of it for the 2 days training in April, as we wait to see how the nation will be going with the vaccine that has arrived in Kenya, and see whether we can still have a camp in December. If we are not able to have it, we move it up to next year. But definitely the 2 days mentorship, we will be there. And if you are watching me and you are hearing me, if you have a girl ages 13 to 20, any girl within the age 13 to 20, make sure you register them. We are trying to come up with a minimal cost that will take care of their food, because they will not be sleeping, so it will be a bit cheaper just to provide lunch for them and a few other logistics. So if you have a girl that is within that age bracket, begin now to, let us know, so that we can create a space for you for the April program. I believe God that latest by next week, by the time I am on this show next week, I should tell you the package and the amount we'll be charging for their food. We are ready to shape the next female leaders in Africa. And our young people like you, that are within the ages of 20 something, less than 40, you have a lot of influence on the younger generation. So we will bring you on board on teaching on etiquettes. We would like you to teach them on mannerism, respect, cultural adaptation in the business world, and how they should carry themselves and package themselves. That would be very important. And if you are listening to me right now, tomorrow we shall be having a virtual meeting partnership with the educational sector of the U.S. Embassy, Nairobi. U.S. Embassy Nairobi, their education system sector, will be partnering with Esther's next generation, our young girls. They want to expose them to the universities, the women colleges in the U.S., and help them to facilitate admission in case when necessary. Give them information of how they can get scholarships. Give them information how they can get into schools there, just to expose them to the outside world education. What a big opportunity, which most of us, as somebody like me, I never had it. I never had it. I wish I had somebody like me in my time, who could have been as passionate as I am with the young girls, with women, with families. I think I would have been better than who I am today. But I still thank God for the opportunity I have. And now I want to pour my life into many. And I also want every opportunity I have, I want other people to gain from it. So tomorrow by 4 p.m., we shall be having an online meeting with this group, the young girls, and the people from American Embassy. So in case you are interested, you have girls that may intend to go abroad for education, and especially trusting God for scholarship, please, on this my page, write your phone number and your name. Apollonia will work on it tonight and capture the phone numbers, so that when it is tomorrow, just before the meeting is 4, we should send you a link. We want to send you the link to join us in that Zoom meeting. Somebody is already registering. Okay, so somebody is giving the Phyllis is saying, if you want to register for our mentorship, our own girls mentorship, please call this number 0721599013. 0721599013. If you want to be part of the girls I'm shaping, and actually these are the girls we are looking for opportunities for here and there. So if you belong to this Queen Esther's next generation, it makes it easier for you to join even in this educational process that we are doing, because it's actually for our girls. So in case you are interested, please call those numbers, send text, and the link will be sent to you. Tomorrow, there's a big meeting for the 50 million African women speaking in business, entrepreneurs. And by God's grace, this has to do with African Development Bank. It has to do with so many organizations, and they will be launching their chapter in Nairobi, Kenya tomorrow. I was privileged to attend one of their meetings in Rwanda. That should be last 2 years, November or so. They invited me through the platform of African Development Bank. They said they heard about me and what I am doing with women. So I was invited to Rwanda. It was an amazing meeting. Now they are going to launch their branch, their chapter in Kenya, to boost the women entrepreneurs. And they want to make sure that 50 million women, African women, are empowered for business. So if you check this my page, you will see that they have put my banner on this page. It was posted today in the afternoon on this page. If you're on my Instagram, you will see it. You will see it in my various portfolios. Tomorrow, when you get a link, in case we have your number and you are a woman, especially those under QEG data, if you get a link and you are able to join in that virtual meeting, join, because they will be telling you how, as an entrepreneur, you will benefit from their outfit. So you can join us tomorrow. Their own meeting will be in the morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Physical meeting, but restricted. So those of you that will not be there physically, you have to join online, and we will find a way to give you a link so that you can join. Don't forget our prayer meeting tomorrow by 8 p.m. And don't forget Stand in the Gap prayer with Pastor Prince on Friday by 8 p.m. And don't forget our anniversary lineup program towards the end of this month. Before I go back to Cecilia for a wrap-up, I want to remind you, please click on follow. Click on my follow. Don't just come there and enjoy my show without following me. Click on follow. Click on like. Click on follow. Click on like. Hey, I think some of them said, mommy, we should go slow on English. People like somebody ABCD, they don't hear American English very well. No problem. They have had us very well. We had everything very well. If you have not shared, please make sure you share. If you have not shared, make sure you share. I've been told that quite a good number of you people have not shared. Don't be a stingy fellow. Even when you are not investing anything that is money there, make sure you share. I want to believe that you forgot. I know you are a wonderful people. You must have forgotten. Please dial, touch, share, and let it go viral. Let's inspire the next generation. Create opportunities for people. You never know who will benefit from this. All right. So share. Then go to my Facebook where you are. Click on follow. Follow my Instagram, my Twitter, and all those stuff. As we begin to wrap up, we have like 5 minutes to wrap up. Back to you, Cecilia. You have talked about what you and your husband are planning to do, even to generate more income by selling things and making things visible. You have talked about your willingness to mentor people, to join also even our girls' mentorship. What do you think will be your parting shot for people who are watching you today? Number one, who are professionals? What is your parting shot to professionals?
I'm sorry, you just broke up a little bit. You're asking me about something for professionals?
What's your parting shot? What one statement, one sentence you have for professionals that you want them to remember forever?
Be genuinely authentic yourself. If I've learned anything from being a woman, is respect yourself. And if you respect yourself enough, that's going to exude your other people around you are going to see that. If you have the confidence in yourself, people are going to see that. Don't walk into a job interview second guessing yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. I'm a victim of that myself. I compared myself to other photographers really early on, and it doesn't do any good. It doesn't bring growth. It doesn't help you as a person. So you can only compare yourself to yourself. Pray about it. Continue your education. And, you know, if you're ever looking for like the internship program, I'm here for whether it's photography or videography. I can link you up with Isaac. My husband and I also host the Kenya Youth Summit through the Youth Engagement Society. I know that you quickly talked about connection, and for women, we host the Kenya Youth Summit at Strathmore University. We did it 2 years ago, and then online we bring people in like pilots. I'm there to talk to other people. My sisters are there talking about health and women empowerment. So you can also reach out to us on the Kenya Youth Engagement Society website if you're looking for internships and other programs. And we're always there to help. You know, we're we're very eager to help this generation and the one underneath of us to empower the young adults to make Kenya better. And if that's what we can do in our lifetime, then I consider our life to be fully blessed.
Glory be to God. Two more things. What is your last advice to married couples, especially the younger ones that are just getting married like you? What do you have to say to them?
Wow. I would sit there and say that always keep God present. Don't ever forget about him. He was there in your life before you met your husband. Besides God, I would sit there and say, never forget to tell each other I love you before bed. You thank God every day for your breath, for your life. So be thankful and say, I love you. You never know when the last time you get to say it is, and you don't want to regret. I also would like to say to continue dating each other. Like you said, I was able to surprise my husband of almost a year on a secret trip, and he trusts me enough to pack his own suitcase and go through security. And when they ask you and say, did you pack this yourself? He can sit there and say yes, because he trusts me, even though he didn't always pack it. So as long as you have that trust, you and your spouse can do anything together and keep family and God the core of your relationship.
That's excellent. Trust is important in every relationship. Where trust is broken, nothing can stay in that marriage. Finally, there was something you told me when you were in our home about respecting a contact that is given to you and keeping it professional and business. You said when this man gave you their cards, you could have messed it up by beginning to look for things that are not the reason why they gave you card. As a young lady, you may, and the way when you called, you wouldn't start talking to them in a way that suggests something outside what you were looking for. Can you say that? Because we are living in a time where people have no boundaries, they have no respect. And so when they pick up people's call, opposite sex, instead of talking the things that is the business in 1 minute and dropping the phone, they want to chat until that relationship becomes a suspicious relationship that can actually damage a marriage. What do you want to say about all those cards that those men gave you and how you related to them?
Well, I can tell you that I have a whole shoebox full of them under my bed, and they are very precious to me, because when I get those cards, I don't go looking for that other thing, because like you said, one misstep, one wrong text could end you on the front page of a tabloid. The wrong picture could mess up everything, and it's not just your life, it's your livelihood and your career. So I was very careful when I received business cards, especially from men with power, nonetheless. So, living in Washington, D.C., you have the White House, you have senators, you have diplomats, you have everyone. So within 24 hours of receiving that card, whether it was their business line, their assistant, or their personal cell phone, I would always send a text saying hello. Saying hello. And there's a big difference between saying hello and saying hey, and that is respect. You don't want to start a conversation with someone who you want to have a business relationship with hey. It sets the tone of your entire relationship or your partnership. So you always want to take these business cards, especially from men of any age, and especially the ones with power, because if they think that they have power, they might think that they might be able to have some sort of power over you, but don't let them, because you have respect in yourself. And as long as you show respect in your text messages or in your emails, dear sir, hello, Mr. Smith, that's setting the tone for the rest of your relationship. And I think that I did that very early on, and I earned that respect really fast, not only from the gentlemen, but from their wives. And if you can earn that respect from their wives or from their girlfriends, you're going to have a clientele list that you don't always have to call for business. They're going to call you. And believe me, when I get back to Washington, D.C., I have shoots lined up, because I have established that respectful relationship with all of my clients that they know, like, okay, I know I can text Cecilia because I trust her. She has that type of relationship either with my husband or with my kids and with families to continue. And I rely on those referrals when they pass it on, because respect, setting that tone for yourself, that's the one thing you can do to ensure your business and your livelihood.
Very, very well. Very well said. Respect every contact, especially when it is opposite sex. Draw boundaries. Be careful with your language. When you are sending a text, be careful with your language, because like she said, one text message can mess up a whole family, can mess up your life, can be published in the newspaper, can be used as an exhibit against you. And at that time, you will not say, I didn't mean it. I was only joking. You don't need to explain whether you meant it or not. Be authentic from day one. When it
you
is
can
official,
never take it back. That's right. Like if you sent it, you can never take that text message and push on send. And
correct. Absolutely. You can't take it back. Actually, that's true. You can, no matter your apology, you can't take back that text message. No matter your apology, you can't take back that email. It's not possible.
Right.
So never act in a way that creates room for people to suspect your intentions. Never act in a way that makes the spouse of the fellow you are dealing with in business or in any other aspect of life to say, I don't trust this lady. I don't trust
your network. Your contacts in your network is as big as your net worth. So if you mess up with your network is tied to your net worth. They're equal. They're one and the same.
I think somebody has to help me write this down. These are the kind of things I love. Your network is equivalent to your net worth.
Yes, you know, and I stole that from my sister.
Our English is too big tonight, but some people are not understanding. Your network, NETWORTH, is equal to your network, NETWORK, your network, NETWORK is equal to your net worth, NETWORTH. Is that what you're saying? Correct.
Yeah.
So that is our take home tonight. My network is the equivalent to my net worth. So if I mess up with my network, I mess up with my net worth. As we wrap up this tonight, I want to appreciate my husband. You know, I boasted, I told you people that wherever he is, he will find a way to join. And eventually, he proved that I know him very well. So he has joined and he has something to say. Let me read. Let me get, where is his comment? Where is his comment? You know the way, here we are. Pastor Prince Okechukwu is saying, my precious, he calls me my precious for your information, Cecilia. My precious and Mrs. Cecilia Washira, God bless you for keeping it real. I believe many have learned a lot. Thank you so much, my treasure, for real. These are things, these are secrets to success in life. Simple. What we are talking about is inspirational, and those who have ears to hear, Jesus will always say, those who have ears to hear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying. So if you have ears to hear, hear. But if you forget any other thing we say tonight, don't forget that your network is equal to your net worth. And that's why once they tarnish your network, your net worth goes down to zero. And so guide your network so jealously. Guard it with dignity and respect so that nobody tampers with the network you have. Because once you mess up or you present yourself in a way that appears suspicious or scandalous, you will affect your network. And by the time you try to build again, it may take ages to rebuild. I think the best place to stop tonight's show is on that statement. We can't do, I don't think there's a better statement than that statement for tonight. So I want to say thank you to Cecilia. Thank you so much for being our host, our guest tonight. And we are looking forward to hosting Elizabeth Washira to know how she's handling women in the US in Dallas. And viewers, don't forget, next Sunday, we shall be hosting Pastor Biodu Shegu from United Kingdom and Pastor Fumi Obilano from United States. Two of them together in one show. You want to understand how they got to the stage where they are on the global market. So thank you so much for being our viewers tonight. And I pray that what you have had will shape you and create opportunities for you in the global market. And those of you have seen quite a good number of you writing that you want your daughter to be part of the Zoom meeting tomorrow. Apollonia will go through the phone numbers and get to you. But like I said, don't just look for opportunity without being Queen Esther's next generation. This meeting is supposed to be strictly for our girls. It's supposed to be for our girls who we mentor. We are just giving you an opportunity. But if you have a girl like that, why have you not been in our group? Why have you not been in a group? It will not be all the time that this generosity will be extended. There are things that are strictly private to a certain group. So I want to believe that even though we will give you the link, you will register quickly with Queen Esther's next generation, because I will not give such an open blanket and open ticket next time. All right. Thanks to all of you for being our viewers, and thanks so much to you, Cecilia. And I know behind you is Dr. Washira. God bless you. So I will program from live, but stay where you are so that we can talk off live as we say good night. So our viewers, God bless you.
Good night.